All right, guys, if you're still here, let me know if you can hear me now. I need some feedback straight away. Straight away if you can hear me. So I can try and fix this up otherwise. All right. Hoping that it's working now. That was my bad. I didn't really have the settings on properly. Yes, awesome. All right, beautiful. That was my bad. Wow, what an idiot thing to do. There was literally a box that had the microphone and it was unticked. Very amateur error. But we start again, and now that's given 7 or 8 people a chance to get in here. It's Azzurri versus Spain. We said at the start of the tournament that if we got to the quarters and we got to the semis, it was a good hustle. It was good progression. But now we've got a chance to go one further. And I don't want to say it, but it's not against the hardest Spain side in the world. This is going to be our hardest game of the tournament because now it's the semifinals. So it's going to be harder than the quarterfinals because it's one stage further. And even if it is a Spain side, which we think, is nowhere near the Spain Galactic side that pulled off the Euro 2008, 2010 World Cup, 2012 Triple Trophy, I'm definitely inclined to believe that they are going to hustle very, very hard. So once again, I apologize for the initial first minute or so with no sound. What's up to my brother Mo? It's good to see you, hear from you. My boy Eamon, good to see you back here again. Indro Hardy, the regular big time reg VIP thing. Mr. Frank, good to hear from you and see you. The battle of the midfield is going to be fascinating to watch. Yep, and we are going to get into that in just a second. So the two sides, what a tournament they've had so far. Let's start with ourselves. We get a group that I always thought it was a tough group. I didn't care what anybody said when they said it was going to, an easy group. It was never an easy group. There's no easy games in an international tournament like this. Turkey were meant to present a challenge a lot thicker than they did. They didn't. I guess that's when everybody in the world looked at Italy and went, hold up, let's just not steer away from this Italian side for a second. Then we beat Switzerland, who we later on saw in the tournament aren't exactly the easiest opponents on the planet. Go figure. I had them to come second in the group from the day they were put in our group. I knew they were going through second. I just knew it. Kudos to them. They've had a great tournament. So their fans would have been happy. In the next game against Wales, obviously a little bit tougher, but we get the job done where we don't need to get the job done. Again, a mark of a winning side, a mark of a champion side. Go out there and get the job done where it really you could have been forgiven for not rolling over, but just not presenting your best. There's 10 people here right now, which is fantastic. If you're one of those 10 people, let me know where you are, who you are, and make sure you like the video as well. It helps me a lot as well. What's up from to Eric, and what's up to John Phillip? It's Italy all the way. Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Round of 16 gets a little bit more tricky with a David Alaba-led Austria, but we get the job done again, albeit, having to go to extra time. Probably the kick in the guts the team needed because in the quarterfinals, the match that just recently passed, oh, man, watching that with some friends at home, we were so good against Belgium. We were so good against Belgium, guys. There was no fault against us. The penalty was not a good incident. It was a little bit unprofessional from Di Lorenzo, and watching it back now, it probably would be called a penalty in 9 out of 10 leagues in the world as well. But we got the job done and stayed strong against the Belgium side, their golden generation. Well, that golden generation is going to finish winning absolutely jack shit. To be honest, they've been G'd up for a fair few tournaments now, and they don't get far. They don't get further than the quarterfinals most of the time. Indro Hardy says, against Austria, it was more of a mental test of the team. Yep, a bit tense is normal, 100%. And Ivan, my G, big up from Sweden. Big up to you. Big up everyone in the chat. Make sure you like it if you're here. Moving on to Spain. Now, obviously starting their group with a couple of draws. But then the smashing of Slovakia, I still put down to that goalkeeper having an absolute mare of a mistake on around about minute 27, 28, because the game looked pretty tense and pretty even up until that point. But that really opened up the floodgates against the Spanish team, who know how to move the ball around pretty well. If you're going to turn the ball over as many times as Slovakia did after that, you can really expect to get exposed. And then obviously they had their big clash against Croatia, which they scored another 5 goals. So Spain clocking 10 goals in 5 games was impressive, but their defense is still worrisome, and we're about to move into the lineups very soon. Eric says, talk about Inter Milan financial situation. I'm worried about it, bro. Unfortunately, not the video for this one here. However, keep your eyes peeled, man. We have a very special podcast content coming out with the CEO of Interspac in the next 48 hours that is going to be online. So start spreading the word about that, man. Start hyping that up. There will be an interview with that CEO. Check our socials for some more information. Let's move into the predicted lineups, or just talk about a little bit about some team news for a second. I'm pretty confident that with the team news that's come out and with the lineups that are predicted, Italy can get the job done. I think Verratti is almost a lock to start for us again. Same with Immobile. I don't think there are going to be any changes from the side that beat Belgium. Sarabia is considered unlikely to start for Spain, which is a little bit weird. He had a muscular injury against Switzerland. I'm not too sure if he will set out, because if he's at least 80% fit, I fancy they start Sarabia over Dani Olmo, who still, once again, is a decent shout once he's got the ball. Don't give Dani Olmo too much space, please. Almeric Laporte trained separately, but he's the only player to have played every single minute of the campaign. So maybe it's just precautionary to make sure his fitness is up to scratch. And yeah, I'm not too worried about when they get up front. I'm really not too worried about when they get the ball up front. So we'll have to see what happens there as well. In terms of predicted lineups, we'll start with ours. Obviously, you have Donnarumma at goalkeeper. The biggest loss for us, and obviously the elephant in the room, is the Spinazzola injury. The Spinazzola injury is obviously one of the harshest things that could have happened to us at this point of the tournament. Definitely not what you wanted to see. And the only logical replacement for him is Emerson Palmieri, who is not going to give you the same progression forward and the same pace forward and link up as Spinazzola, but he's still a very attacking-minded wing-back at the end of the day. He's played a lot of his career at left wing-back and left-back, so he's a decent substitute to come in. It's not like all is lost because Emerson Palmieri is coming in. What's up from Toronto, Canada? Frank, good to hear from you. Indro says, weird thing is I never rate Luis Enrique. Always remember his time at Roma. 100%. I was thinking today, this Mancini cannot lose this game to Luis Enrique. That's for sure. Immobile needs to perform. Shut up the English media. Shearer called him pathetic. Well, at the end of the day, what he did rolling around on the floor, it did look a little bit pathetic. And he hasn't had a fantastic tournament. There's a couple of players in this tournament that have been masked by the overall performance of the team and the side. And I think Immobile is one of them. And I thought Berardi was another one of those. Although it's not going to happen, I'd rather play Bastoni at left back. Is that really a gamble you want to take this far into the tournament, though? Fair enough. We're Inter fans. We love Bastoni. We really love Bastoni. And I want him to succeed. There's nothing more I want than to see him succeed at the national team level as well. But at this point in the tournament, with potentially 2 games to go before lifting the trophy, I think you really need to stick with what you know and what the team knows properly as well. And if that means Emerson over Bastoni, so be it. All faith in Mancini, especially after that Belgian performance, my G. So let's move on. You got Emerson, Chiellini, and Bonucci. Masterclass. Absolute masterclass against Belgium. Ridiculous how old they are between the pair of them. I loved what Chiellini came out and said. He knows Bonucci better than he knows his own wife. And I expect them to do a really, really good job against Morata and Moreno or whoever else Spain wants to throw up front against us. Di Lorenzo, the logical choice at right back, hasn't been poor. An avoidable penalty. Just stick your shoulder out. If you can't, try and shoulder him to the sideline. He had more time. He was in a very unproductive position to get that penalty. I'm talking about the Belgian player. He wasn't going anywhere. He was not going absolutely anywhere. Ahmed, what's going on, bro? Good to hear from you. Bastoni has a lot more time to grow. Now we need experience in this game. Well said. I would have to agree. Moving on to our midfield, Verratti, Jorginho, Barella, unchanged from the midfield that played ridiculously well against Belgium, ridiculously well. Our boy, Nico Barella, fantastic, man. That was the kind of game he needed because everyone was starting to get on his back a little bit. Rightfully so, though. Rightfully so, but he also had enough he just had enough maturity to back it up. It must have lit a fire inside of young Nico, and what a goal it was and what a performance it was. It was the kind of performance that had clubs all around the world looking at him and starting to try and get their nose into our business, but that's not going to happen. Another great performance from Jorginho. His close touching distribution of the ball right from the center of that midfield of 3, and he's just so calm and collected. I'm not comparing him to Pirlo by any means necessary. Andrea Pirlo is one of my favorite players of all time, but he did play a lot like he did in that last game. Just the tempo, the maestro-esque control of the game. that was what I wanted to see from Jorginho, and I've got so much confidence in him in this game as well. I reckon this is the type of game where he's going to thrive. Marco Verratti also picked up his game a fair bit after being rusty against Austria. You don't change him now. Despite how good Locatelli has been in the tournament, you don't change Verratti now. I wouldn't change a thing in the lineup that went into Belgium, and that's what's expected right here on paper in front of us. If you're one of the 12 people in the video right now, make sure you leave a like, comment where you are from, and let me know your predictions. Start rolling in the predictions as well, okay? And we'll get to them in a second. Insigne, Immobile, Chiesa up front. The reason Immobile is not getting replaced is because it's just Belotti who's coming in to replace him. So if we had a better option at number 9, maybe we'd put in a better option at number 9. But at the moment, Immobile is still the better of the two. Belotti's good off the bench in a situation like these Euros, but I don't think he's going to give you anything different than Immobile really will. Pathetic is harsh. Immobile tried what's working in Serie A. More of a cunning move from him. Hate playing the moral card. Fair call. For me, Toloi should start as right back, much better in defensive abilities. Once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's what Mancini's going to be doing at the moment. Insigne goal, masterclass. Oh, wasn't it beautiful? Wasn't it a beautiful goal? It's been what we've been crying out for all tournament. But let's see if he can have another really, really good game against this Spanish side. So, and Chiesa on the right-hand side, you know, a little bit invisible for me in that game, but you're always going to be invisible when you play that long rather than come off the bench against a tired defense. I'd still stick with Chiesa. I think he can offer a little bit more. And I think this Spanish side, at the end of the day, they're going to have to press up a little bit. I know it's all about the tiki-taka and the passing the ball around and not overly doing too much with the ball, but still they're going to have to throw something at us. And for me, I want Federico Chiesa on the break. I really want him on the break in this game. Guys, let us know what you think about this predicted lineup for the Italians. You know, it's going to be a big game. I like that looking lineup. I have absolutely nothing wrong with it. Let's move down into Spain now, who also, you know, still look the goods. Once again, I'm a little iffy with this position here. Dani Olmo, a lot better around about this park, this centralized area of the park. If he's going to be there playing out of position over Sarabia, I actually think it's a bit of an advantage for us. But let's start from the back. Simon, once again, or Simon, whatever you want to call him, in goals. I don't think after that mistake against Croatia, he's really earned the spot. And, you know, I guess it's just not going to happen for David De Gea, unless he's injured or something. Someone can tell me about that, because I really didn't do my homework on the Spanish goalkeeper situation. I completely missed that, to be honest. I think in the back of my head, I just had De Gea coming in. Alba, Laporte, who trained separately, as I said, but should be there to start. Torres and Azpilicueta. Good mix of, you know, good experience in that back. Really good experience in that back, but slow and reactive time a little bit slow as well. But can play the ball and link it to midfield very well, which will have Pedri. Busquets will be the one to drop back and collect the ball a lot more, with Koke kind of moving up a little bit to try and collect it a bit more up here. But at the end of the day, I'm worried a little bit about the link-up play with them in the front three of this 4-3-3 with Fernan Torres, Morata, and Olmo. But their finishing product and decision-making in the final third should not be a problem for Giorgio Chiellini and Leonardo Bonucci. If they can outmuscle Morata, which if they could do it to Lukaku, my God, they can do it to Alvaro Morata. Please, 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 please. If you're one of the 13 people here now, like the video, let us know where you are from and your prediction for this game as we start to enter into that prediction territory. Yeah, it's a good-looking side. It's not a great-looking side. It's a side that this Italian side can beat. It's a side that this Italian side can dominate possession-wise, defensively, on the break, on set pieces, high balls. Drop a comment if I'm missing something here. Where is Italy going to be weak against this Spanish side? The midfield battle is going to be good, but it's all going to come down to pressing as well, in my opinion. And this Italy side with Jorginho and Verratti and Barella is going to press the living shit out of that midfield. It's going to be very hard for the likes of Laporte and Torres to start building up from the back, in my opinion. I just really think that if we can get going early, I don't think much is going to stop us. Okay? Okay. Indra Hari says, if Jorginho can keep Pedri quiet, we have a bigger chance to win. Barella going to have more space this time with Alba and Pedri. Tendency to play higher on the pitch, 100%. They are also very slow to get back. You know, fast when they pick up pace, but this ain't no 100-meter sprint. The decision-making process can often take 1 or 2 seconds, and then all is lost in this modern-day football. We need Immobile to take his chances, 100%, 100%. What's up, Chris? Good to hear from you. Chris Levy, let's go Italy. Yep, let's go. Let's go, Dave. I'm confident. I'm confident, but not assured. Confident, but not assured, obviously. It's the semi-final of a major tournament. It could go to extra time. It could go to penalties. I don't want penalties. I hate penalties when it's my own club or country. Absolutely love it like it's a really good cooked steak when it's as a neutral. I love seeing penalty shootout as a neutral. I get absolutely G'd up for it, but equally hate it when it's my own side. Hate it. I can barely watch a penalty when we're given a penalty for Inter or Italy. Fernando Torres and Olmo can be threatening against Emerson and Di Lorenzo. No. You're right. You are 100% right, bro. However, once again, Dani Olmo likes to drift in a lot, but that's where you're going to see Jordi Alba really start rocking the flank. They're going to expect that they can do this against this Italian side. I don't think they can. Despite all the warning signs and all our good performances this Euro tournament, I still think this Spanish side underestimates us a little bit. Let them come at us on that side because it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. They weren't going to push up as Piequeta before, because he would have been the man to mark Spinazzola. He will have a much easier task on his hand now with Emerson Palmieri, in my opinion. Let us know in the comments what you think of the lineup and what you think this prediction is going to be. Aren't Australians hate Italy after Grosso diving in 2006? Man, if you want to have a private conversation with me about that, you're more than welcome. That was one of the best days of my life, and I could go on about that for hours, days, weeks, years. Let's close up this now and talk predictions. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a tough one. Spain will definitely want to keep this game as flat as long as possible. They want to keep the ball. They want to tire us out. They want to keep us jogging around the park. We need to press hard and we need to press early. An Italy early goal puts 1 foot in the final. An Italian early goal puts 1 foot in the final. And we know that. We know that. If we could come out against Spain the same way we did against Belgium, we got this. We've got this. All right? We can't let the game drift on too long. We really can't let it drift on too long. People saying we need the revenge for 2012 for the 4-0. Yes, we did get like a semi-half revenge by knocking them out 2-0 in Euro 2016, but in the round of 16, does it really count as much as the magnitude for the final? Short answer, no. Long answer, no. I think that we'll have the better cutting edge in this game. I think that the 50-50s can go our way. And I think that in terms of building rhythm in this game, we will build rhythm a lot better and a lot quicker than Spain will. And I think Mancini knows what he needs to do. I think he knows what he needs to do. In terms of goal scorers and scores, it'd be nice to keep a clean sheet in this game. Keeping a clean sheet in a semi-final would be incredible. Absolutely incredibile. But I don't see that happening either. Spain have got a goal in them. 2-1 is my pick. It's the logical choice. 2-1 for Italy. It could be 1-1 at the end of regulation time, and we could be going into extra time. But I think, now part of me is saying that it's going to penalties. But I'm going to stick with 2-1. I think there's a goal coming from midfield again. I don't know who it's going to come from, though, so I'm not going to predict. And I think Immobile or Insigne score as well. Or Chiesa. It's got to be a goal from midfield and a goal from the front three. For Spain, I think that they get a lucky goal because, at the end of the day, the similarities with 2006 are now well justified that we're in the semi-final. We've conceded 2 goals. One from a set piece, which in 2006, we conceded one from a set piece with an own goal off that corner for Christian Zaccardo. This wasn't an own goal, but I swear to God, we let someone in at the near post. It's about as close to that goal as it can get. And then a penalty as well in the final. And now a penalty against Lukaku. It's really incredible. I really hope this side can keep it up because if we don't concede a goal to Spain in open play in this game, my goodness, what a feat. What an achievement. What an achievement. Last few comments before I wrap up a nice short and sweet match preview. I'm glad I did it. Keep calm. Mancini, after all, tried to give calmness to the squad and make players' mindset to just play for fun. I guess so. Chris says 3-1 Italy for the win. And my boy John says, I think their game will play right into how we play. we should be able to win in the 90. I think so. I really think so. That's what I want, man. I really think we should be able to win in the 90 minutes as well. That's a great comment, a great shout. Guys, I really, really want to make sure that Italy go, well, how can I make sure? I want them to give it their all and to walk out of this game knowing that they've done everything proud, but I'm not worried about that at all. They've proven it time and time again in this tournament. They are ready. They are absolutely ready to go in this game. And you saw it at the end of the Belgium game when they were all huddled together, making sure all was okay and all focus was on this game as well. Barella, I think, will have another great game. And it's so good to see Barella. So good to see him on the national stage. I know he didn't have the best performance in the round of 16. I know he almost lost his head and he really needs to improve that aspect of his game. But Dai Nico, I'm really, really happy. Really, really happy. If anyone has any comments or questions about the Azzurri or the Euro, keep them coming in now for the next 2 minutes. Otherwise, I will wrap it up. There are 13 people here right now. Make sure you like the video before you leave. Let's just touch on the other one, eh? Good. Indrahari, exactly. My thoughts exactly. If Italy do go through to the final, who do you prefer, England or Denmark? Obviously, Denmark for a couple of reasons. First of all, fuck England. Second of all, their fans. I just can't stand the way that they behave in this tournament. And it's taken, in my opinion, most Italian fans all the way to the quarterfinals or so to start getting the feeling that we've got a real good shot at winning this. I could be wrong. You could know some fans around your way. It's all subjective to the people you know in your circles and in your life. But I just feel as though we're acting in a very professional manner in this tournament, whereas there is absolutely nothing professional about these England fans. I cannot stand them from their punditry and everything. It's just too much gas, bro. Too much gas. And I think Denmark can push them really, really hard, which would be nice. Losing a final to the English, Indro, it would not be a good feeling, bro. It would not be a good feeling at all. Whenever France are no longer in a tournament, England are my next victim, hopefully, bro. And yeah, I just cannot stand them one bit. Coming from Australia as well, a lot of fans by default, if their own nationality or their own background gets knocked out of a tournament, they will jump ship and start to support England as well. But at the end of the day, man, that's just subjective as well. Denmark, what a run that they've had. What a run that they've had, man. Their run under Captain Kjær has just been incredible. And I think that they deserve a spot in the final, of course, especially like not many teams can lose their first game and go all the way and do that. So well done. Absolutely well done to them. Guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up right now. It's been a nice match preview. Thank you to everybody who tuned in, everybody who commented. And yeah, let's hope I'm coming at you this time tomorrow with a match reaction on top of the world. As long as they give it their all, that's fine. But oh my goodness. We are so much better than this Spanish side, and we've got a real chance of getting to this final. We've got a real chance of getting to this final. Anyway, Forza Azzurri, Forza Italia. Bless you all. Have a lovely day. Ciao.